Bring them in 1 second. Once we start the show, ladies and gentlemen, we're going right into the show again. Give ourselves a little extra time. There's lots to talk about. And here we go. Let's do it.
3, 2, 1.
And now for Pucks and Pints. Brought to you by Jimmy Sports Lounge in Kingston, Ontario.
The fastest 60 minutes on ice. Pucks and Pints Radio.
He shoots and scores.
It's hockey time. Here are your hosts, the Big B, Coach K, and Bacon.
The waiting is over. You believe in miracles yet?
And now for Pucks and Pints.
Yes, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the show. I'm Coach K. Great to be here with you from Windsor, Ontario, Canada. Skipping the pre-show again, just in case we need some extra time tonight, because things are getting crazy.
I think we need some extra time to talk about that hat.
I'm wearing the hat because, by the way, folks, I'm heading south Thursday. I'm heading down to Florida, so there'll be no more show next week. So,
Man, I thought we had Harold Ballard for a second.
It's all right. I'm feeling festive. Feeling ready.
Well, it's a nice hat.
And I'm ready to make some crazy. I know, but it's weird with the headphones. You know, it doesn't work as well as a cap. Anyway, Bacon's on time. We can get right into our regular features and then get into the hockey talk. But we always ask what Bacon is drinking, and here we go.
Now, it's Bacon's Craft Brew Review. Brought to you by Locker Room Lager.
Well, as always, I've got the ever so sturdy and trusty Locker Room Lager.
You still have some left, you bugger.
I have, yeah, I've been rationing it. I have 2 cans left.
Okay.
So I have one for tonight, and then one. It was going to be one for next week, but maybe it's going to be 2 for tonight. But yeah, again, thank you to these guys for their support. Again, Pucks and Pints is our promo code. If you go to their website, $5 off your first order. Direct shipping from the brewery to your house.
And the best way to find it, Bacon, is just go to pucksandpintsradio.com. Big section there. And we link you up.
This is true. And my other one is it's called Last Pass. It's a session IPA from Red Barn Brewing in Blenheim, just outside of Chatham.
Yeah. Is that made with pumpkin?
It is not. This is just a regular IPA. It's very, very good. It's very tasty. I know it's not Big B's cup of tea.
There's no such thing as a good IPA.
I'm out of Locker Room Lager. I'm back to the blue. But I did want to mention to you, I don't want to get into it. You want to hear the stories, go to Cave Crew Radio, another show, and you'll hear all about it. However, look at this. I was with Jay Vegas in Toronto at the Leaf game. And I don't know if you can see, but look what Jimmy brought.
Looks like some Locker Room Lager.
Tall boys of Locker Room Lager. We were enjoying there. So everybody's getting in the spirit.
And rumor has it, if you're in the Windsor area, I don't know if Lakeshore is still in the playoffs or not, but the Atlas Tube Center, I believe, also has locker room that you can purchase there as well during the
And
games.
I will tell you that they defeated the Wheatley Sharks.
So they got at least 3 more games and 4 more games.
So they are in. We're talking junior C hockey now, Big B, really small time, but still.
See, you guys have all those local hockey tournaments and leagues up in Canada. We have, unless you're in like Minnesota and like in the Midwest somewhere, or the North Dakota, things like that. We have nothing like that here in New York.
Oh, we got all kinds of stuff going down. It's just winding down now. We got our Red Hats. I think the only team that was in was the under 18 for the Rangers.
For the Rangers, yeah, they lost in the semis yesterday.
Well, good for them.
3-2, I think, or something like that. So,
but fourth in the entire thing.
Yep, fourth in the province. Windsor's got a AAA team in the TELUS Cup final tonight here in Windsor. That's I think it's the 16s.
Oh,
maybe the 17s. In the TELUS Cup final here at CPA. Game just started about 15 minutes ago.
Well, there we go. Is that our buddy Finn?
I think it's the team above. No, he's double A.
No, he's double.
This is the AAA kids.
All right, folks. One last time, go to pucksandpintsradio.com. It's a good beer. Trust us. It's nothing weird from Bacon. This is a real nice, tasty beer. Promo code Pucks and Pints get you $5 off your order. Get over there today. All right. Should we race to the cup?
It's getting interesting.
Let's race to the cup. Then we have 2 videos from Jay Vegas, by the way. It was in Las Vegas tonight, believe it or not.
You know what? Before we start this, let's start with some trivia about this past weekend and the games that happened.
Oh,
April 1st.
And we got to take that down.
April 1st, and this one goes out for Colton again. Our buddy Colton in Oshawa. April 1st was the first game in the first day in NHL history that there was 5 shutouts and 5 hat tricks in the same day.
And what year is this?
That was this past weekend on April 1st. That was Saturday. So in Saturday's games, first time in NHL history.
Not a joke.
Not a joke. 5 shutouts, 5 hat tricks.
Do you have?
And believe it or not, Jack Campbell had one of them.
And so did Samsonov.
Yep.
Sorokin.
No, they lost.
No, I don't think the Islanders.
No, the Islanders lost on Saturday.
So he gives us a trivia and doesn't have the answers. Colton, I'm telling you, brother, you need to either pick Team Coach K or Team Big B. In fantasy, Big B beat me this week, but I looped Bacon the week before.
Not by much, though.
So the Panthers had a shutout. I don't know who was in that. The Hurricanes had a shutout. The Leafs had a shutout, and the Lightning had a shutout. You're saying Sorokin. The Islanders lost 5-0 in that game. So no, Sorokin did not have a shutout. Oh, and the Oilers had a shutout.
Yeah, he got shut out on.
Yes, yes.
So did Jack Campbell stop anything?
Yeah, he actually played pretty well. It was a decent game. I watched that game because that's the game that Draisaitl also got his 50th point,
right?
Or his 50th goal. I'm sorry.
Those two are fire. I'm telling you.
Jack Campbell stopped 36 shots, 36 of 36.
Way to go, Jack. Soup.
16 teams enter and only one survives. It's time for the race to the cup.
And you realize if we're off next week, boys, it's going to be playoffs. So tonight, you're going to live or die by what you're predicting. And since we were talking about Jack Campbell, let's go over to the Wild West. So we got, and this is really like, you want to talk about fighting for position. We don't, we'll get to the wild cards in a minute, but you got the Wild at 97. You got the Avalanche at 96. You've got the Stars at 96. The Stars have played one more game. Are we calling anybody there yet, or is it too soon?
It's amazing how close that. I'm amazed that Minnesota is in first. Nobody saw that coming. It is crazy that they're in first, and Dallas right now is in third, only 1 point behind. I'm not calling anybody right now.
You're not ready to say the Avalanche are back.
I mean, out of their last 10, they're 8-2. But no, I'm not saying that they're going to win the Central. Not right now. I can't.
I'm not talking about the top three. I'll save my crazy predictions for the wild cards. Bacon, what say you, Mr. Goaltender Genius?
I'll tell you what, I'm really, really surprised at the comeback the Avalanche have made. Like Big B was just saying, 8-2 in their last 10. I didn't see it coming. I thought maybe they'd split that last 10 those 10 games. But I'll tell you what, man, they went from, hey, maybe they'll be in a playoff spot, maybe they'll be in a wild card, to solidifying fifth right now. So
and he made some great moves. I mean, even with Parisi and Sutter still on the books with those big salaries, he took on salary in that. I think it was the Toronto deal with Riley. He let Greenway go, and he just kind of twerked a little bit. He didn't, I give him credit. He's standing pat.
And
their big guy's still not back yet.
No, Landeskog is still out, but my man Georgiev is playing great, which I said I've liked him since he was on the Rangers. He's always been a good goaltender, but he is on fire of late, sparking this 8-2 run that they've been on.
Yeah, so you've got Colorado 8-2, which they're ready. The Wild are 6-2-2, so they're getting points. But Dallas is a little concerning here because they were running away at one point. They're 5-4, 5-4-1. Sorry, they're basically playing 500 hockey right now.
I think they're sitting okay though. If you look at the standings, they're sixth? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They're sixth. The next closest team to them is a Kraken at 90. So they've got a little bit of room to play with. They got one game in hand, so they got one more to play. And I get right. Yeah, the strength of schedule is going to dictate where they finish. But I think, even at 500 hockey, they're in. It just depends on whether it's 6, 7, 5, 6, or 7.
Oh, I don't think they drop to the wild card at all. I think those top three, Minnesota, Colorado, and Dallas, are the top three in the Central. Where they finish amongst those three, I have no idea.
Yeah, because there's really only 1 point between the three of them, right? And the next closest is the Jets, and they're back by 7.
Right.
All three of them are in the bottom 10 for strength of schedule. So, basically you show up and play, and you're in.
Yeah.
But it's who finishes where. Who do you want to play? This is where we're at now. We go to the other side. The Knights are 101. The Kings and the Oilers have both played 2 more games, are at 199. All three of them. Vegas 7-2-1, Kings 7-2-1, Oilers 9-0-1.
Oilers are on fire. Here's what I'm hoping for. I'm hoping Edmonton vaults those two and finishes first, so we have a first round matchup of Vegas and the Kings and Jonathan Quick.
Really? Yeah.
That would be a fabulous matchup. That would be such a good matchup. They could both wear their ugly, flashy silver and gold helmets and blind each other and just have a 0-0 game.
How awesome would that be? Coach K would lose his mind because they both have shiny helmets.
Oh, fuck. Did you guys hear that they're getting rid of those retro jerseys? I just about lost my shit when the Leafs, lost my stuff when the Leafs played in their black jerseys the night I was there. Anyway, Edmonton's got the easiest schedule of anyone, but Vegas has 2 games and the points lead.
No, Vegas has one game. They
I
played
thought you
76.
were gonna
Edmonton played
say-
77. So they have one game in hand. They're
Oh,
up,
sorry. I thought I saw 75. You're right.
no, they're at 76. They got one game in hand. They're up by 2 on Edmonton from first to third. I'm hoping Edmonton just wins out and vaults the 2 and jumps into first place.
But
Again,
they
I
better
don't
pray.
think there's no chance that any one of those 3 fall to the wild card. Seattle is 9 points back. So those top
Well,
two
don't
are
get to the
top
wild
3.
card yet. That leads to my story about your Edmonton Oilers and my dream match. I just want to say, the Oilers are like 60 goals ahead of any other team. If they go in a scoring drought, their goals against it's bottom 10%. Even with Ekholm.
They're still not going to go in a scoring drought. It's just not going to happen. Not with Draisaitl and McDavid.
All right.
No, he got his 50, but I think he's just going to keep going just to be like, look at, I did this. Now watch what else I'm going to do.
Right, but there is no way that once they go into the playoffs, that suddenly both of them dry up and
The
just
game
go
changes,
scoreless.
though. They run up. See,
Not
I want
gonna
to.
happen.
They run up against the Kings or another team that's hot defensively, puck possession. Not mentioning any names yet before my prediction. It's not as. This is why your team, the Rangers, my team, the Leafs, the Devils. They've tried to build balanced lines. Those 2 guys are gonna. Don't let them breathe.
Nobody's been able to do that this entire season.
Yeah.
I know things change in a 7-game series where they play each other, and they.
And your
you know,
goalies are crap.
well, that's what happened last year, and they made it to the Western Conference Final.
They didn't make it to the show, though. I don't care. You beat the first round or the last round, you're still out.
The point is, McDavid and Draisaitl, maybe one of them will be shut down, but both of them will not be shut down together.
Depends how they line them up, too. Are you going to play them together? Are you going to split them?
Oh, you got to split them.
Coach's call, right?
Yeah, you split them, and the way they're playing right now, like I mean, you got guys like Fogel and Nurse and guys like that up front setting these guys up.
Nurse is a defenseman, Bacon. How many of those loggers have you had?
Well, I'm thinking about the game the other night. Nurse got in on a couple on a rush, and it was pretty cool to see. Like I said, they played really, really well the other night, and I was really surprised watching Campbell. So
I will say for the Oilers, though, a very under the radar 100-point season, or potentially, I don't have it right in front of me, Ryan Nugent Hopkins.
Oh yeah.
So
yeah, he's really kind of broke out this year, eh? Like he's sort of stepped it up, but I wonder if that's in the locker room too, right? You got Draisaitl, you got McDavid in there going, guys, like, look, we're doing our part, we're doing good, but how about everybody else just step up, elevate just a little bit? Look at us, 4 or 5 weeks ago, we were looking like Edmonton, Calgary, they'd be fighting for that last spot, and then all of a sudden, boom, now they're up in the third. So
I still think you need some kind of defense and goaltending by miracle to go far. Let's go to this, as Big B calls it. Nobody wants to be in the wild card spot this year in the West.
Nobody.
You've got the Jets at 89. They're 500 right now after being in first for like ever.
Yep.
The Kraken are at 90. They're 4-4-2.
Yep.
And they got two games left to play to catch up to the other 2 teams. So
you're ready for my prediction?
Mm-hmm.
The Kraken have 2 games in hand, but they're even with the Jets. The Flames are 6-2-2. Their goaltending is woken up. The Flames will be a wild card team, and I would love to see Edmonton, Calgary in the first round.
I'll tell you what. If
Well,
it's an
that's
Edmonton
not gonna
Calgary
happen.
first round, that would be fantastic.
Oh, yeah, it could
Magic
happen.
happens in rivalries. The Wings beat the Leafs last night. I mean, it just happens.
Oh yeah, yeah, that would be
Oilers.
nice.
So if my dream matchup of Vegas and LA happens, that means Edmonton and Calgary is a very real possibility.
Yes.
Huh?
I'm going full out Jay Vegas, who we'll hear from in a little bit. Flames will pass the Kraken or the Jets. Even though the Kraken have 2 in hand, they look like crap.
It's a real possibility. Honestly, with the numbers being as close as they are and the way that the Flames have been playing, it's a very, very real possibility that happens.
I mean, at some point, we got to make a call, guys.
The problem with this division is you can't.
Call of the night. My call of the night is Flames wild card.
Again, this is continually being the playoff spots that nobody wants. And I've said it, I said it in a different show, but it applies to this. If you can haul it, you can have it. That means if you can step up, which the Flames look like they're doing right now. They won 4 in a row. They're 6-2-2 in their last 10. If you can step up and actually make a push and win a game or two, you can have a playoff spot. It's there for the taking. Nobody else wants it.
I don't know if you can see.
I cannot see that.
Team 32 is with the easiest strength of schedule.
Yeah, it looks like Calgary.
Calgary.
It's Calgary.
So just out of curiosity, who do the Jets and the Kraken have left? Like, where do they rank in that list?
And do they play each other at all?
Yes, the Jets play the Flames. I know that. Winnipeg has Colorado, Minnesota, San Jose, Calgary, and the Predators.
That's 2 losses, a win against Calgary, 50-50, and the Predators.
Also 50. I'd say also 50-50.
50, but the Predators are fading. But yeah, I'll give it 50-50.
Ready for this? And I'll give you the Kraken too if you want it. Calgary, Jets, Hawks, Sharks, Canucks,
Jesus,
Predators.
You just play minor league hockey teams.
Yeah, they could just phone it in and be like, look, okay, you guys just don't even show up. It's not even worth it. Save the trip.
Seattle, Kings. God, this is small. Kings twice. Blackhawks. Arizona 3 times. They can't be right. And the Canucks. Arizona beats teams though. Arizona took Boston in OT.
Yeah, that's true. Based on that strength of schedule, your prediction's a very real possibility.
Seriously, Calgary's playing the worst of the worst in this league at the end of the season, and on top of that, could just make ground against Winnipeg.
Yeah,
that's my feeling. Now let's go over to the East. The Bruins, Presidents, champions.
Yep, easily.
I'm not saying first round, but I still think that curse is very real. I'm not convinced this team is for real. Maple Leafs 100, Lightning 96. They're guaranteed to play each other, but home ice is not guaranteed. Hurricanes are 107, Devils 104, Rangers 101. Big B, are you going to spend $2,500 US for a front row behind the goal seat for Game 3 of the Devils and the Rangers?
No.
What a series!
Not even a little bit. I will watch it for free at home.
I'm with you. That's why I spent $1,000 once on a very big TV.
Yes, there you go. It's just like being there, except without the traffic.
Right. And I can yell all I want without my wife telling me to shut up.
There you
And
go.
beer isn't $18 a beer.
That is
Another good point.
There you go.
So let's go to the Atlantic before we even get into the wild card stuff again. Bruins are there. Like, am I wrong? They're great. They're playing great. They're a good team. But I look at them and I go, I don't see it. I just don't see them hoisting the cup this year.
I mean, I said it a couple of weeks ago. It's for a President's Trophy winning team to win the Stanley Cup. It doesn't happen all the time.
Right.
Oftentimes, the President's Trophy team is, eliminated generally in the second, sometimes third rounds, not so much the first. And I think that could be the trend with Boston. I think they'll win the first round against whomever they play. I think they will win the first round. But then you start going on to these other teams where, you're playing a Toronto or the Rangers or, however it shakes out. Then you could be in trouble because these teams can play and can skate with them. The only thing I worry about, at least as far as my Rangers go playing Boston, is Boston is a tough team and the Rangers don't have that toughness.
Yeah.
They will hit them and they will knock them around.
You got Trouba. You got the big two.
But that's it.
And Keandre Miller. He'll spit in someone's face or
well, yeah, that doesn't help us on the ice though.
But
yeah, I agree. No, I agree. I think they make it past the first round, but I don't see them winning the cup either. Second or third round elimination.
And here's what I'm envisioning in my head. Maple Leafs Lightning to me is still as much of a Leaf fan and that I am, and I still think they're built better than they were last year, and they're ready. And I don't think the Lightning are who they were, but they're still the Lightning with Vasilevsky. The team that comes out of that round could be on a really high.
Yeah, oh yeah,
going up against the Bruins, because the Leafs win. They're gonna. I don't even know if anyone will be able to stop them because it's the doubt of the first round.
They can get that monkey off their back and get over that hump. The sky's the limit for that team because that's their crutch.
We're going to be sitting on our seats until we've seen them blow a 4-goal lead in the third period with Boston before. So no one in Toronto is going to believe anything until that series is over.
Yep, until that final whistle goes.
Then you got Tampa, who's just the proverbial bring on playoffs. Although I heard Sergachev is hurt. We'll have to see what that entails.
But the X factor is Vasilevsky, and he's one of the best goalies in the NHL, so it's going to be a tough matchup.
No, they were talking about that today, right? They said Jack Campbell and Vasilevsky both 9-2-4s. Yeah, Vasilevsky lost 7-1 in game one, but when it matters, you're going to put your money on Vasilevsky. I mean, I would too.
Yep. Oh, for sure. To your point, Big B, there has only been 8 President's Trophy winning teams that have gone on to win the Stanley Cup. The last being the Blackhawks in 2012, 2013 in the lockout season.
There you go.
It's just there's too much. I mean, things have just been going too good. I mean, I'm not saying they're a bad team. I don't want to play them. But there's just too much going right. And you've seen the odd little slip the past 6 weeks or so.
And that's what happened to the 7-game series, right? So, you get much more in tune to habits and game planning around certain players. Whereas in the regular season, you study a little bit of tape, but you're on to the next game. And these really good teams like Boston really take advantage of those sub 500 teams.
Now, how are you as a Ranger fan feeling about the other matchup, which is pretty much guaranteed at this point, against the Devils?
There is nothing guaranteed right now because there's only 3 points that's separating them. And Carolina is banged up.
Let's see.
Carolina is banged up, and the way the Devils are playing, I think their goaltending is better than Carolina. I think Vanacek is better than Frederick Anderson, and Carolina is a banged up team right now. New Jersey can easily jump them, and then the Rangers play Carolina. So there's no guarantee with Carolina being banged up, and I think the Rangers match up a little bit better against Carolina. I'd rather see Carolina in the first round.
I'd rather play Carolina. I think Carolina is probably the most overrated. They obviously they've done a great job. They got 104 points, whatever the hell they have. But you're right. They're banged up. They lost their number one. They didn't do anything at the trade deadline. Yes, Dougie Hamilton. You okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. No. I was in an itch behind my ear.
Oh, I thought you were tapping. I was dead again.
No.
Yes, Dougie Hamilton's had a great year. Yes, Brett Burns they're getting some points from the blue line. I don't believe in Freddie. I don't believe in their goaltending. They're not a bad team.
But they're not the Carolina of 4 years ago.
No, I think there's better teams in the field. Let's put it that way.
And I will say
they've done really well with what they've got.
I have to believe in the Devils at this point. I mean, I didn't even count them in the playoffs at the beginning of the year. I don't think I have Boston in the playoffs at the beginning of the year. You have to go back. Listen.
And let me just say one thing against if the Rangers-Devils match up. The Rangers and Devils just played a couple of days ago. The Devils won 2-1. But the Devils jumped out to a 2-0 lead early in the first period, and that was some defensive lapses. After that happened, the Rangers shut down the Devils, went on to score a goal to make it close. They didn't finish because Vanacek is playing really well. But again, I think the Rangers match up well with the Devils. I think they match up better with Carolina.
Yeah, I think Devils and Rangers has to go 7.
Go 7, but yeah, I probably could.
If they play the way they did a couple days ago, like you were saying, it'd be an exciting series to watch.
Yeah.
If the big boys in New York come through, that's the if, right? I mean, you've got the experience, you've got the pedigree, you certainly have the goaltending. You got a great team. But this Devil team, computer says no, they just won't quit.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And that's, I feel better that the Devils are in the position they're in, because at the beginning of the season, when I made my bold prediction about the third last place team in the league this year, at least I said I thought the Devils were going to do good because they were a young team. So I got a 50-50. I got a redeemer with the Devils. I just hope they can wipe out my Montreal prediction.
Well, I was the same when I looked at the Devils. Now, of course, this is pre-Timo Meier and all that stuff, but I looked at the Devils and I was like, Ottawa, Detroit, there's these teams coming along, Buffalo. I put them in that group. And the others, I mean, Buffalo's still got an outside chance. I mean, we might as well jump to the wild card. But New Jersey's real. They're fast, they're young, but they remind me so much of the Maple Leafs 3 years ago when they lost in 6 to Washington. Do they have the character to win a series against the Rangers or whoever they play, the Hurricanes or whatever?
So interestingly enough, you were mentioning the Timo Meier trade, and it got me thinking. I just kind of quickly looked it up. If he didn't end up in Jersey, would they be in the same spot they were in? Well, the answer would be yes.
Yeah.
Because as of 6 days ago, and I don't know if he got anything this weekend, he's only scored 4 goals.
Yeah, they played well.
But he is a presence, right? You can't discount the fact that he's a presence on that team and he's a presence on the ice. But realistically, had they not picked up Meier, would they still be in the same predicament? Probably. They'd be playing well.
Yeah, that's what be third at worst, right?
Yeah,
right. I mean, they did it most of the season without him, and we're in first for a good portion of it. So,
and I know you're not a Devil fan, but that's another city. Good for you.
There's nothing good about New Jersey.
No, not at all.
As a city, oh my God, it's disgusting.
There's
the whole state's gross.
There's nothing good about New Jersey or Philadelphia. Nothing, or Boston for that matter.
Now, I will preface my comment with, if anybody that I work with is listening, I still like you. I just hate the office you work in. Because we have a huge office in New Jersey.
Look,
And,
I made a comment when we were up in Toronto. Made great time up the 401 the whole time. You get into like Markham and whatever, Vaughan and all these other places. You get right into Toronto. I don't know how anyone lives there. I love going to the games, hopping in an Uber. You know, it's a great atmosphere, great restaurants, great food. I could never live in that shit town as much as I love the teams.
Yep, it's too congested, too many people, too much stuff.
Yeah.
Jason
Lots of
Gretsch
cool
said-
things to do, but just no, living there would be nuts.
Jason
What is
Gretsch
it?
says the armpit of the U.S. I'm assuming referring to New Jersey. And
Oh,
yes,
absolutely.
we all agree.
I used to work with him, and we've both been to New Jersey, to
What
Newark.
part of this is where's
The armpit of the U.S. is Newark.
Well, yeah. Well,
Like
Well,
you fly into the
yeah.
airport, and on your left is a garbage dump.
I
Yeah,
heard
that
Atlantic
goes without
City
saying.
is pretty much a
Ugh.
dive.
Gross. Oh,
But all right, wild card, boys. And then we'll get into some Vegas and carry on with whatever we got. All right. Islanders sitting pretty, 87. They played one more game than the Panthers and the Penguins. The Penguins holding on at 86. Or sorry, the Penguins 86, the Panthers 85. Almost identical records out of those three teams. Well,
Yep,
no,
and-
sorry, Penguins are 4-6. I was looking up a line at the Rangers.
Buffalo on a steady
slim outside
decline at
chance
81.
for the Sabres. Very slim. They couldn't even beat Montreal the other night. They're out.
Yeah, like I was saying, on a very steady decline at 81.
So I went on a limb. I picked the Flames. Is someone going to go on a limb and eliminate Islanders, Penguins, or Panthers? Big B.
I've said it for weeks. I have no faith in the Islanders, and I wouldn't believe it till they clinch it. Florida has a game in hand and are only 2 points behind the Islanders. I'm not sure who holds the tiebreaker, but I think Florida is surging at the right time. They're 6-4-0. They've won 3 in a row, while the Islanders are 5-4-1 and have lost 2 in a row.
And I watched a game this weekend. Not sure if it was Saturday or Sunday. The Penguins look great against the Bruins.
Yeah. Yep, they do. They're playing absolutely good hockey.
They're almost like Tampa. It's that team you just don't want to bet against.
Yeah, they come out and they have a few games where it's like, oh, these guys are done. They're done for. They're old or whatever. And then they come out and they make them look like, thanks for showing up, but we just schooled you.
Although if Malkin could not get 28 minutes and penalties, that would probably be in the Penguins' favor.
Just a little bit.
Weird.
But yeah, I think the Penguins are in. Like I said, I have no faith in the Islanders. I'm saying Florida and Pittsburgh in the wild card.
The thing about the Islanders is, I was listening to a show, as Bacon would say, they're built for the playoffs. They could cause some chaos with Carolina or Boston.
But again, they're hurt.
Amazing, and they've got a really good defensive team. If they can score 3 goals, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't. I mean, they're hurt
either.
too. Remember, they're hurt too. They're banged up as well.
I'm not an Islander fan. Don't check me in that box, ladies
Oh, no,
and
of course
gentlemen.
So Big B, what was your prediction?
Florida and Pittsburgh.
Florida and Pittsburgh. So interestingly enough, I grabbed my notes from the one I found was from a month ago when we did this. And I had said the Avs and the Jets were the ones on the fence that were gonna go forward on the West. Well, the Avs have obviously done that. The Jets are still sitting on that fence. And I said Buffalo and the Wings, and maybe Pittsburgh squeaks in there. In the course of a month, Buffalo is all but out.
Yeah. Great year for them, though.
Oh yeah.
Chase
Very,
Thompson.
very young team, lots of talent, right? Give them another
Chase
year.
Thompson's hurt. They might have found their goalie. I don't know even rate.
And then the Wings they're out. Sorry, Jay. Guy that made the comment, he's a Wings fan. Sorry about your luck, bud. They're out. But yeah, I'm gonna say Pittsburgh and the Islanders are in, and the Panthers are out.
Yeah, I know where Big B's coming from. I freaking hate the Islanders, and they got to be the biggest chokers on the planet. Aside from the time they upset Tampa, President's Choice or President's Champion, whatever we call it, in the first round. The Islanders are usually a team that really chokes. They don't spend a lot of money. They're dealing with injuries. I also think maybe there's 3 teams that want it instead of don't want it in the West.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, we were saying that it's
the other day, but they look terrible against the Red Wings. I like.
Oh, I don't want to talk about the Leafs and their weekend performance.
No, I'm talking Pittsburgh played Red Wings last week and looked absolutely terrible.
Yeah. I don't know. I think there's still a few games of good hockey left. Again, we're going to get into that scenario that you see guys starting to rest a little bit in anticipation for the series that are upcoming. While you saw it on the weekend with Toronto, you had Marner and Giordano out with bumps and bruises, resting up. But there's still some good hockey to be played, and I think the numbers could switch a little bit, but I don't know. It's going to be an interesting last 8 games.
So you said who? You said Islanders.
I said Islanders and Pens are in.
I say Florida and Pittsburgh. What say you?
As much as I despise the Islanders, man, it's close, eh? Well, let's go real quick to our strength of schedule.
Well, while you're looking that up, one thing the Islanders have over the Panthers is the fan base and the atmosphere in that home arena.
Right. I couldn't believe the defending President's Choice team, or whatever we call them, President's Trophy. There was more Go Leafs Go, which I expect in Detroit. I expect it in Ottawa. You know what I mean? But you don't see it in New York. You see some.
Yep.
Florida was empty. Florida was abandoned.
And the difference is if you start a Go Leafs Go chant in either one of those New York arenas, you're probably going to get something dumped on you. Guaranteed. It's just like if you go to the Yankees game and cheer for the opposite team. Whether you like the opposite team or not, you don't wear their jersey into the Bronx.
That's right.
Right. Or Boston. I don't think you get it alive.
No, not at all.
Chicago, they're not so bad though.
We call the Florida, it's New York South. Whenever the Rangers play the Panthers, the entire arena, it sounds like on TV, is having "Let's Go Rangers" chant going on.
Yeah.
All right, so Florida, highest of the 3. They got the Canes, the Leafs, the Capitals, the Senators, and the Sabres, who might be fighting for just dignity.
Mm-hmm.
That's the hardest schedule of the 3 that are remaining?
Yeah. Well, we're down to 5 games. Who
I mean,
next?
that's not other than the Canes and maybe the Leafs.
Who's depending who's resting, but who's next?
Pittsburgh.
Jersey, Nashville, Chicago, Columbus, Detroit.
They're in.
Yeah, that's I say 3 out of 5 of those are wins.
Yeah, easy.
Ready for this though?
Because by the time you hit Detroit, half your bench is sitting resting for that first round.
Ready for the Islanders?
Mm-hmm.
Tampa, Montreal, Philadelphia, Washington. I say Florida the Florida at least has 2 tough games.
Don't count just because Philly is where they are. Philadelphia, New York games are tough.
Yeah.
Don't look at the schedule. Don't look at this the standings. Those games are tough. The Flyers can easily beat the Islanders, as the Islanders can easily beat the Flyers in that game.
When I watch the Leafs, I'm going to go back to the Leafs real quick. I have more confidence they're going to win a game against Colorado or Edmonton or Carolina than I do if they're playing Arizona or San Jose.
Well, they lost both games to Arizona they played this year.
I swear this team, this is why I have a little bit of faith in the playoffs. This team plays to their competition worse than any other team in the league.
They do. And I don't think, I mean, there's no way around it. You know, you got guys in those organizations that are doing numbers like crazy, right? There's no way these teams don't know where they stand and, you know, that they've clinched a playoff spot and they're in the playoffs. But just watching them this weekend with Marner out, with Giordano out, Matthews was just out for a leisurely skate. He made a couple of nice plays, but he wasn't going nuts. He wasn't going after pucks. He wasn't, you know, he'd go in there and bump a guy and then skate off and go sit down. Where you got guys like Bunting who are just, you know, just going nuts. And he's out there, you know, still playing 110% because why not?
It's a contract year.
Yeah, well, that too.
All right, let's go to Jay Vegas. Give ourselves a quick break as we start to wind down. We're going to mute ourselves a little bit here, folks, and we still got, you know, more time. We can chit-chat about some of the stuff that's going around the league, but we've thrown our hats in the ring. Folks, you can hold us accountable. But Jay Vegas did 2 videos today. Jay Vegas is now in Las Vegas. So he did one on the airplane because he didn't think he'd get the other one done. And then he did one once he was in Vegas, and they're both like under a minute. So I figured we could play both.
So he didn't get arrested for using his phone on the plane?
Not that I know of. I think he arrived safe. So I'm going to, are you going to mute yourself, guys?
Yep.
All right. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Jay Vegas, 2 quick videos. And I got to unmute really quick. Sorry. He is in a slump. He knows he's in a slump, and he's trying really hard.
Hey guys, welcome back to another edition of Jay Vegas's Pick of the Week. It's been a really busy week. I celebrated my 50th birthday. It's gone by in a blink. I'm actually on a plane right now. I'm going to Vegas. I'm heading to Vegas right now. When I get there, I have to put $2,000 on red. I'm going to be in a huge hurry. I didn't even have time to look at the picks, but since I'm going to Vegas, we're going to take the Las Vegas Golden Knights tonight. I think they're playing
ladies and gentlemen.
I think they're playing the Minnesota Wild, so that's what we're taking. Minnesota Wild to lose to Vegas Knights by 2 goals, okay? Sorry, Kenny, had a great time with you on Wednesday. That was awesome. I gotta go. I'm going to Vegas. I'm a busy guy. What can I say? Welcome to a special edition of Jay Vegas's Picks of the Week. Special edition live from Las Vegas, Nevada. Tonight, what are we going with, Mike? What's the pick?
Blue Jays money line.
It's pucks and pints, Mike. Pucks and pints, not bats and pints.
Oh, I don't think we're hockey one here, but yeah, I'd say Vegas money line.
Vegas money line, folks. You heard it right from Mike. We're on Vegas. I believe they're playing Minnesota tonight. If we win this, we're buying tickets to go see Katy Perry tomorrow. Love Katy Perry. All right, folks. Good luck with your picks. And I'll see everyone next week. Cheers. Cheers.
Vegas on the money line is the pick of the week. He's got to win eventually, ladies and gentlemen.
He would be undefeated if he stuck to random overseas hockey leagues.
Taiwanese minor hockey.
The Indonesian Jets, whatever they are.
And those names he couldn't promote. I'm going to tell you something, guys. If you get a chance, you got to hang out with Jay. He's a great guy, but they're nonstop. I mean, they're nonstop. I don't know how they're alive, but
many years of conditioning.
That is true.
All right, guys, you still got a little bit of time. I don't know if there's anything else nipping at you. What's his name? Lost his finger last night. You want to talk about tough hockey players?
Who?
Duchesne.
Really? I didn't
Lost
know this.
the tip of his finger.
Ooh.
I was reading today.
Oh, I didn't hear that. Interesting. What, like a skater? Like
No, I think it was a shot.
a shot come out and wow.
Guys, these guys are animals, man. I'm telling you. Come on, guys, don't fail me now. I got my.
Well, you know what? We got
but
we got a few minutes, so let's. I was just looking at an article. So the Blues were supposed to have Pride Night tonight, and they chose not to wear their jerseys that they had made.
Mm-hmm.
What are your thoughts on this?
team. Are you saying the whole team?
The whole team. The organization said we're not wearing them. I don't know if it's out of solidarity with some other players on the team or whatever it might be, but
it's mostly been Russians, like
which I understand that part of it, where look, they passed a law in Russia saying, if you support anything other than the religious views that we impose on you, your family could be, persecuted, in trouble, whatever. That part makes sense to me because that's a human. That's you're protecting someone at that point,
right? But there's always one or two on every team, which you'll expect. 30 guys, whatever, 20 guys,
right?
One or two are going to say no. I'll tell you my stance on this. It wasn't as visible back in the day when I was a kid, but I always used to tell my buddies, I don't care. As long as they don't hit on me, it's more fish in the sea for me at the end of the day. It doesn't bother me. Some of the propaganda and, making rainbow sidewalks and lighting up buildings and getting the extra attention, that might get to me a little bit. But at the end of the day, I don't care.
Well, look, here's, I'm in full support of it. You want to wear them, wear them. I have no ill will towards anyone.
Not at all.
I understand the Russian side of it, we'll call it. I understand the religious side of it, where you say, look, I don't agree with this. I don't agree with your views. However, there is a big fundamental difference between the religious side of it and the human life side of it.
Yeah.
And the religious side of it, just because you don't agree with those views doesn't mean you can't wear that jersey to say, I'm inclusive and I support you.
Right.
There isn't a religion out there, an organized religion that these guys are citing, that says you can't wear something and you can't support someone because you hate them. That's not what that's about.
You shouldn't hate anyone.
Exactly.
Except for the Red Wings. But other than that, no, I'm same as you. It's not how I choose to live my lifestyle. but I'm okay to say, hey, if you gave me a shirt, I'd put it on right now. I got no problem with it.
Absolutely.
Big B, you're very political. How do you feel? I mean, is it that big a deal? Or?
First, let me start by saying I don't care what other people do. Never have, never will. Secondly, I want all of this out of sports. The reason I want it all out of sports is because it's a political statement.
Yeah.
I don't go to games and watch games so an organization, an individual person can spout a political statement. If an organization wants to sponsor, if there is a gay pride, league, which I know the Rangers are involved in. There's something here in New York where it's like an all homosexual league. Great. You want to honor them on a night, for their league, and you donate to their league and give them equipment, fine. But to blanket everything for this religion, this way of life, the way this person lives, and it's a political statement. I want all political statements out of sports.
It should be out of sports. You're 100% right. And this goes back to kneeling for the national anthem, more so in the States than in Canada here. But then that chick's in Russia in handcuffs because she got caught with wacko tobacco. And who's she calling for help? Talk about calling the kettle black. I agree with you 100%. Never had any problem with it. Never will.
No, I don't, like I said, I don't care. You do what you want to do. I have no ill will towards you. I will never disparage you. I'll support you in anything you want to do, as long as it's legal, obviously. You're not committing a crime. But I'll support you in anything you want to do. You want to date whoever you want to date. You want to marry whoever you want to marry. I could care less. Go enjoy, have fun.
Right.
You don't
grab me and kiss me.
Well, they're not going to do that anyway because
I realize that, but I'm just saying, you don't put me out of my comfort zone. Just like I'm not going to run over and kiss, Chris's wife. I give her a hug because I know her and she's a friend. But you know what I mean?
Well, that's a comment for a different show that we have to check in on.
The boundaries are set right across the wall.
Right, but what I'm saying is, to do
There's
all
no
the
place for it in sports.
Every way of life has to have their own night. No, they don't. If you have an organization that the Rangers, let's just say, are going to support and donate equipment and honor, fine. But everything else is just a political statement. And across all sports, across all ways of life, there should be no political statements. I will go so far as to say that I don't think there should be a national anthem sung at sporting events. There's no reason for it.
No, that's tradition.
There's no reason for it. You don't need to sing a national anthem to play a hockey game. Just go play a hockey game.
You can't take that out.
Why?
Although I still didn't get an answer from you from the other show why Buffalo was playing, I don't know who, and they sang the Canadian national anthem in Buffalo.
They were playing the Rangers. I don't know. I didn't see that. I don't know.
I'm dumbfounded. But
to be fair, have you watched the Buffalo national anthem scenario this year? They have screwed up more times than they've gotten it right. It's been a debacle.
I'm going to set myself up for all kinds of hate mail. I didn't like it the night they had the Indians banging the drum at the center of Maple Leaf Gardens or in DGs or whatever they call themselves. There's no place for it.
Yeah, I'm fine with it either way.
The only exception, the military, when they do those things with the military in the States, in Canada, the fire, the police, the ambulance, the nurses, when COVID was going on. Yeah. Because some of them might be gay and some of them might be communists and some of them might be Jews. It's okay. But this other stuff is got to be out of sports.
Well, and the reason I brought it up was exactly what you said, B, was I was getting to the point that I read an article by a gay reporter. And he said, look, the gist of the article was, we get it. You want to be inclusive, but we don't need your Knights. We don't need you to wear these jerseys. Like, we understand our culture. We accept our culture, and we've assimilated the way we've assimilated. We don't need people pointing it out all the time saying, oh, let's include everybody. Right? Is what the gist of the article got down to.
So
my question was just simply,
them, don't you think? It's
almost, I'll be honest. The jerseys are gorgeous. Some of these jerseys are absolutely gorgeous. And I know, Ken, you hate these jerseys. You hate anything that doesn't look like the 1926 Maple Leafs and Red Wings jerseys. You hate them.
I will say the Jets were wearing their old blue with red pants the other night. You can bring them back.
But again, those were from like the late 80s. But that was the only reason I was asking is, and then getting to the point at the end where I think, as much as I love them and I support them and I have friends that are gay, and I just think it's to a point where we get it, we understand it, we don't have to showcase it as a political and an advertising piece anymore. Because really that's what it boils down to at the end of the day is the NHL is making money off of this. I don't want to use the word glamorizing, but it's they're promoting inclusivity to get a paycheck.
Nailed it.
It's really what it's coming down to.
It's like me and BB going to the thing and say, we want barbecue day because we like to barbecue and smoke. Right?
Yeah. Yeah. We want tobacco and ribs day. Like,
yeah.
And again, I have no ill will towards anyone.
We'll light up a cigarette in your seat. I'm all there.
You would have absolutely thrived in the old school arenas.
I did.
You could wear the hat.
That's where I got started. I was at WWE, which, by the way, just got bought by the UFC. That's freaking crazy. Oh. But that's not hockey. But anyway, the smoke, they put those big dome lights out back in the day before all these pyros. Hockey, baseball, you name it. You're smoking. The last time I saw something like that was at the Roger Waters concert when I could smell more wacko tobacco than anything else, which I personally don't indulge with. But I could care less what you do. Inject yourself with cyanide if that's your belief.
Yep. And the only other thing I thought was comical. I'm going to use the word comical as it's not a great word, but when the Stahl brothers came out there last week and said, we're not going to wear the jerseys because it's against our beliefs. And then the media came out and said, but here's a picture of you 2 years ago when you played with Montreal. And what are you wearing? You have a Pride jersey on, even though you said you'd never, ever, ever wear one.
And don't you wonder when they do that?
Right? Like I don't know.
When they do that, though, don't you wonder in the back of your mind?
Well, it makes them relevant for 5 minutes.
You're in the closet, buddy. The reason you hate it so much is because you are one. I'm not saying they are. But that's just something that twirls in my head. Normally, when you hate something so much, it's like, you might just be there and not want to tell your wife.
Yeah, I'm not touching that one.
Me neither.
Yeah, not a chance.
I'm just
not
saying.
A chance. But I will say, and as much as you hate the jerseys, as much as you hate anything that is outside of the normal, everyday hockey jerseys, the Indigenous jerseys and the Pride jerseys, I think are absolutely gorgeous.
I say
the teams did a great job with the marketing and design of it.
I like when they wear them in a warm-up. Now, I would love, I want to go on record for this. I'd love for the Jets to go back to the blue and red pants. I love the Kings being purple and yellow. I like the old teal that San Jose wore before they brought in the white jerseys. There's certain old school I like. I love the Blues with the yellow jerseys. Loved it.
With the music note.
Yeah. Love the old Anaheim Duck jerseys back in the day. Anaheim across the chest, the duck in the center. Not that I don't like retro, but the retro is like the reverse retro and all this weird crap is what gets me. The Leafs do not wear black jerseys.
Well, they have to do something. They have a
wear black jersey. I went to a Red Wing game this year, and they had that stupid black jersey on.
Yeah, with the black band and the stripes and the I'm not a big fan of that one. I don't know. The Leafs have to do something because even their retro jerseys look like they're everyday jerseys because it's so plain. Like, what else can you do? You got the St. Pat's jersey.
I told Big B the other night.
What else can you do?
I told the Big B the other night before the other show, the jerseys the Leafs wore against Buffalo in the outdoor series in Hamilton, beautiful.
Was that the white on white?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The jerseys they wore when Detroit played Toronto in Ann Arbor in front of 200,000 people. There is no black in our jerseys.
Well, you can blame Justin Bieber for that one because if you turn those ridiculous things inside out, they have a big, giant, ugly, happy face.
I'd rather they wore that. Anyway, we got to give Jolitz a part of the show here. I don't have his poster up, but it's okay. I got the audio. Here's Mike Jolitz with a Sports Minute, ladies and gentlemen.
Now it's time for Sports Minute with Mike Jolitz.
Hello, Pucks and Pints. How are you doing, Coach K? How is it going, Sir Big B? And hello to you, Bacon, as well. Kia ora, guten tag, and konnichiwa, everybody. Alrighty, guys. Hey, it is now time for the Sports Minute. Wrestling icon and legend Ric Flair started up a cannabis company. His first growth was called Woo! LSU won the NCAA jump shot and layup tournament. The ladies beat a tough Iowa team. I forgot to watch. The regular season for Major League Baseball started. Yeah, I'm sorry. I love baseball. I'm all about Saturday baseball. Brewers beat the Cubbies on Sunday. Unfortunately, the Diamondbacks are already eliminated from the playoffs. Over to NCAA men's tournament. UConn is playing San Diego State in the March Madness tournament right now. Now, the second. I am rooting for UConn, by the way. Kyle Larson won the Toyota Owners 400 race in Richmond, Virginia. Yeah, he was in a Chevy. Eat it, Toyota. Eat it. Milwaukee Bucks ejected forward. I don't know how to say his name after he headbutted Blake Griffin on Saturday. I didn't know Blake Griffin was still playing. And finally, in the Sports Minute, WrestleMania 39 was held last weekend. I didn't watch it all. I don't understand the two-night thing that they're doing. Why would they do that? I don't know. Whatever. Who cares? Alrighty, guys, that does it for the Sports Minute. You guys have a great show and a couple weeks away. Get a little rest for you guys. I'll be back then too as well. Choose Chow on a feeder saying to everybody later. Bye-bye.
I don't know how Bacon just disappears on us, but after Bacon took us into that really dark conversation, which are conversations that need to be had. Yesterday on TV, I was waiting for a hockey game to start, and I didn't want to watch the women's NCAA. I started watching it with my boy, and then my wife came down. John McEnroe, Andre Agassi, Michael Chang, I can't remember the other guy, even Steffi Graf was there, were playing pickleball.
Ugh.
You need to Google it to watch John McEnroe. We were pissing our pants. He has not changed one bit. He's 64 years old. He actually did pretty good. But all these tennis stars now playing pickleball. Andre Agassi said he's in now. He's going to keep playing.
It's tennis for old people.
It is tennis for old people.
I'm signing up. Sorry about it, but
oh man, it's brutal. it's at the point where it's taking over the world. There's college leagues that are part of pickleball now. It's unbelievable. Like there's you go watch and they have like ESPN's got, the college pickleball finals.
I know where
it's crazy.
Bacon, but you're talking about the same world where colleges, I don't know if it's the same in the States, but colleges and universities are competing in video games.
It's true.
So
that's actually true.
Leave
my
the
kids
pickleball alone.
My daughter's elementary school has an esports team. Yeah, it's crazy. Like, I mean, I guess they realize that kids are getting dumber and they got to play video games now instead of doing trades and getting jobs.
At least you got to move a little bit for pickleball.
True, I suppose. It's like, I don't know. It's just full-size ping pong is all it is.
Big B,
they use a wiffle ball.
Nominate that.
They use a pickleball.
And Bacon can refuse, but
which is a yellow wiffle ball.
I'm going to spend the money, and we are going to have National Pickleball Night on Pucks and Pints Radio, and Bacon can boycott it.
No way.
He's not wearing the pickleball jersey.
That's right. Yeah. My religion says I can't wear a pickleball jersey.
I challenge you, Bacon.
Well, the interesting thing is I know a place where we could go play.
Right down the street from me.
No, indoors. Screw the outdoors.
Oh, you're the indoor guy.
Oh, well, the wind factor and the sun and the...
I'm not ready yet.
No.
But,
stupid.
Oh, and I'll beat your union.
Pickleball.
We're gonna play. Me and Bacon. It'll be streamed live. We'll get my wife or one of his kids or his wife or somebody to set it up on Pucks and Pints Live. And Bacon and I, in the off season, when things are slow, are going to have a one-on-one pickleball match, best of 3. We'll see.
All right, I'll take you up on it. I'm going to train.
All right, guys.
I'm going to get a video of me with 2 ping pong paddles going against the wall.
I can't wait. Challenge accepted on my end. Ladies and gentlemen, so thank you so much for watching the show. We're off next week. I'm going to be away in the sunny south. Maybe Bacon or Big B or myself will pop up a live video and let you know what's going on in the world of hockey. But when we return, it's going to be almost the eve of playoffs, and everyone's predictions will have come true or have fallen by the wayside. All right, guys.
Later.
See you soon.
Pickleball.
I'm going to destroy you. You will be the most ridiculous looking pickleball person on that court.
I'll do it whether I win or lose. I'll be the most ridiculous looking pickleball person.
From one side of the court to the other.
I'm going to bring in a ringer.
I'm left-handed, and number 2, I used to play racquetball, and you're in big trouble.
Oh man.
Thank you to all the listeners on our affiliate stations. To find out more, check out Pucks and Pints Radio on Facebook and Twitter.
Thanks for listening. We hope you enjoyed the show. Subscribe to our YouTube channel now and make sure you never miss another upload.
This is Pucks and Pints.